Hello ladies, welcome back to Thankful Thriftiness. Have you ever thought to yourself, how clean does my house need to be in order for me to have guests over? Or if someone's just dropping by, do I need to worry about tidying up? Now, I'm nowhere near an expert on either homemaking or hosting, but as a new mom and homemaker with a baby, I've come up with a little bit of a system to help me figure out what I should do when guests are on the way. How much should I clean? Should I even worry about it? Let's dive right in. While you're here, if you enjoyed it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. So as homemakers who love our homes and the people in it, we would love to have a perfectly sparkly, clean, organized home at all times, right? That would be wonderful. Especially when guests come over, because it gives us more peace of mind. We're not sitting there wondering, do they think my house looks dirty? Is this uncomfortable for them? But it's not exactly realistic pretty much ever. All of us have different things in our lives that keep us very occupied, such as children, housework, jobs, to name just a few. I even had a kitten that kept my house in complete disarray for quite a while. A pristinely kept home is not necessary, nor is it realistic. What you should be aiming for is to eliminate distractions to make people feel comfortable. Let's look at some examples. What do I do if someone's just dropping in? If it's my mom, I'm not doing anything. When she comes, I'm gonna get her or offer her a cup of water, but often she brings her own. I'll think about a snack, possibly. Sometimes she brings one. So I'm not gonna stress a ton about it, and I know she really doesn't care too much exactly how my house looks. She'd rather that I probably relax and just enjoy being with her. Now granted, if I have the time and if my house is already partially put together, I do like to put it together the rest of the way, just because, she's the one who taught me how to do this, so I'd like to show her that at least I was listening. But for anyone other than my mom stopping in, I am always going to try to put away any personal items that might be gross to some people. Now when I mean gross, I don't mean like filthy, like you shouldn't have anything filthy sitting around. But you know what I mean, like toiletries that aren't super organized. You get what I'm saying. Food sitting out that isn't currently being used should probably go back in the fridge. You get the picture. Just get that stuff out of sight. You don't want to see that, neither does anyone else. Next, I would check the bathrooms. Make sure that they're tidy, that the toilets are clean. Just, again, the goal is to not gross anyone out and to make them feel comfortable and like they can use your home however they need to. Now granted, at this point, if they said, I'm 10 minutes away and I'm gonna be at your house, I'm not gonna worry too much about anything else. But if I still have time, I'm going to try to tidy the areas I plan to be in with this person, such as the living room, or pretty much the living room at this point. If it's summertime and we're gonna be outside, I might sweep up the front porch, just making whatever area we plan to stay in comfortable. Depending on the visit, if it's just like a 3-minute visit, we don't have to worry about this. But if they plan to stay for any longer than maybe half an hour, consider at least getting them a water. And if you have time, consider possibly pulling out a little snack. My favorite go-to is either to have a baked good in the freezer ready to go, or to make up a charcuterie board. And I mean like cheddar cheese, crackers, dried fruit if I have some. I also like to run down to the larder and grab some preserves or something like that to go with it. Super easy, super fun, and delicious. My next example is like a daytime visit, whether that be like a play date for kids or just a hangout, get together, something that was planned in advance. I would do all of the steps I just mentioned before, and then I would also prepare a meal. Something like a lunch, or like the charcuterie board I mentioned, and then a salad. It can be really simple. Now for the most common type of get-together, at least in my life, a dinner visit. I would do all the same steps as just a drop-in visit, then I would prepare a dinner. Right when we schedule when to get together, I send out a text asking if the people coming over have any allergies, aversions, or preferences when it comes to food. I can't accommodate every preference, but people are generally very gracious and just tell you their allergies and if they have any major aversions like onions or spicy food. When someone comes over for dinner, I like to keep the house pretty clean. I'll make sure that there's nothing distracting out in the kitchen. Yeah, I might throw everything into one of the bedrooms and shut the door, which is totally fine. But I try to keep whatever space we're gonna be in, which is generally more of the house if it's a dinner get-together, organized and comfortable. If I have time, I like to set the mood in my home. I like to turn on music and light candles and maybe get some tea boiling. It's up to you, whatever you prefer, whatever you feel like makes your home feel calming. Now let's talk about if a guest comes to stay the night in your home. If it's a last minute, like there's a blizzard outside, I don't want you driving home in this ice, just stay the night, don't worry so much about these steps. But if it's planned in advance, it's really helpful to make things extra not distracting for the person staying in your home. When you're away from home, you're extra sensitive to things like smells and feelings like the sheets that you're using. So first of all, I would do all the previous steps mentioned preparing for guests. I would also send out that same text asking about allergies, aversions, and preferences when it comes to food. And then if the person's staying for more than a day, I would go to the grocery store and stock up on some food. I have a friend who prefers almond milk. I'd grab her almond milk. If your friend is a coffee drinker and you don't have a coffee maker, maybe borrow a friend's or something. Just stock up on any needed food and then ask if there's something special that they would like to have while they're in your home. This step is very important. Like I mentioned, it can be hard to sleep at someone else's home. So make sure to change and wash the sheets of the bed the person will be sleeping in to eliminate any strange odors in the room they will be sleeping in, and even possibly heavy fragrances. Some people struggle with heavy fragrances. It can really bother them or even make them not feel so well. So check ahead of time if you think of it. Maybe just eliminate the odors from the room and then provide a candle and a lighter that the person can light if they wish to fill the room with wonderful smells. A really helpful way to eliminate odor from mattresses is to sprinkle baking soda on top, leave it for an hour, and then vacuum it off. And presto, it doesn't smell anymore. If your guest hasn't stayed with you multiple times before, they might not feel comfortable rummaging through your cabinets to find what they need. So setting out for them an extra towel, washcloth, blankets, even a nightlight, and letting them know where a fan is could be helpful. Also make sure that there's a tissue box by their bed because it's something that you might not think of often, but then when you need it and it's not there, it's really annoying. If they're staying at your house for a while, maybe show them where extra food, toiletries, and blankets are located in case they need to get them in the course of the time they're staying with you. Now, if you have extra time and if you really want to do this, you can even throw together a little care package. You know, chocolates, face masks. If it's a girl, obviously. I don't know what guys want in a care package, probably just snacks. It's fun, it's extra. You don't have to do it, but if you can, it's an extra welcome little gesture that can make someone feel even more at home. In the care package, you should also provide a little note card with your Wi-Fi password on it. Some people like myself don't have unlimited data and need to use Wi-Fi, otherwise they can't do much when they're outside their own home. If your friend is a reader and you know there will be times that you won't be with them, such as when you're putting your own little babies to bed, set out a few of your favorite books. Who knows, they might enjoy them or find time to read. So there you have it. I know it kind of seems extensive, but if you think about it, you probably naturally do a lot of those things anyways. And like I said, this is just my current routine preparing for guests. And I promise you, if you come to my house, it's not going to be perfect. And I don't want it to be. But I do want to eliminate anything that's distracting so that we can enjoy our time together. And hopefully you will feel comfortable in my home. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave any hosting tips that you have in the comments below because goodness knows we could all use some more of those, myself especially. Have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll talk to you next week. Bye!